Hello, I'm Diego Lujan, the owner of Alpha Elite Plumbing. Like most of you, our co-workers and their families have been hearing a lot about the coronavirus, and many people are concerned about their health. I would like to update everyone on how our organization is taking steps to ensure our business is open and ready to serve you. Everyone at Alpha Elite knows that it's our job to keep people healthy by offering services that ensure proper plumbing practices, which plays a large role in keeping your home clean and safe. With all the developments around recent public health concerns, we want our customers and their families to know how we have stepped up our focus on our operations. We are taking every precaution to ensure we do our part to increase public health by creating a higher standard of hygiene that ensures multiple deep cleanings of our company vehicles each day, checking on our employees and ensuring anyone feeling ill doesn't come to work. We are also ensuring our equipment is sanitized before and after we come into any home or any business. Good plumbing techniques can save lives. We take this responsibility very seriously. The entire team at Alpha Elite wants to remind people that public health experts recommend we all spend more time washing our hands and working together for the safety of our community. I'm a man of firm faith, and I know that God is on our side. He is the one giving us the calling to help anyone in need, so no fear will stop us. Alpha Elite is committed and driven to ensure our leadership within the community is at the forefront on the safety and the well-being of our customers and our friends. We are committed to serving you, your family, and this community. Stay positive, stay blessed, stay safe. Thank you.
Welcome to the Hispanic Chamber's On Value Speaker Series. Today we are featuring Talia Bond and her perspective on leadership and character and its impact on small business. Our On Value Speaker Series would not be possible without the generosity of our title sponsor, Alpha Elite Plumbing and Heat, and our today's event sponsor, the Spring Funeral Services. Enjoy and make sure you subscribe to our Hispanic Business channel on YouTube today to comment and ask questions. Talia is both a marketing expert and owner of Collabora, LLC, and PostNet Centennial. She finds fulfillment by empowering individuals and small business owners to elevate their brands and produce significant results. She has served in leadership roles for Fortune 500 companies where she managed the business financials, operations, leadership, and employee development. Talia's leadership has translated to positive impact and measurable results with each role. Her experience in education gave her the foundation to start her first company, Collabora, LLC. The company began in 2013 by offering translation services at first and eventually expanding to marketing and consulting services. One of her main clients is the Minority Business Office, where she provides consulting to small business and government contracting. She helps companies get certified with the city to grow their business opportunities. Outside of working with her clients, Talia enjoys keeping abreast of opportunities in Colorado to share with others. Talia is the owner of PostNet, a marketing shipping franchise. She started the business because she felt that she could help her clients more effectively expand their client base and increase their sales by working with them to create the branding tools in a more cohesive way. From business cards to promotional items, PostNet solutions to small businesses in all industries. Talia received her MBA from Regis University, where she continues to honor the university's mission to be of service to others. Her fluent bilingual skills in both English and Spanish brought her back to her alma mater to teach marketing and business. She taught in both languages in the dual languages program, where she felt a great sense of fulfillment by making a difference in the students' academic lives. Talia also served as board of director for ACCESO, the Denver Elections Division, and Museo de las Americas. Driven by fun, Talia finds fulfillment through her friendships, having a good laugh, and not taking herself too seriously. She lives in Denver with her two daughters, husband, and mother. Please welcome today our On Value speaker, Talia Bond.
Thank you, Joe. for the introduction. And hello, everybody. I am hoping today to share with you about the things that I have learned as a business owner since 2013, and hoping that this story will make of value to you in some way. You're here because you probably have a question about leadership and character. You are a business owner. You want to know maybe, okay, am I taking the right track? What is happening? Am I doing the right thing? So I'm gonna tell you a story, right? Um, in 2015, I was laid off by my company that I used to work for. I used to work for corporate America. And I decided that I was ready to start a business on my own in a bigger scale, because by then I already had my collaborate business and LLC that I did translations with. But it was something that I was doing from home. It wasn't something really that was structured, and I felt that I was ready. So, as you know, I also have an MBA in my education, and by the stats, they are saying that a small business will grow in about 3 to 5 years. And I opened the doors of Postnet, my franchise in Centennial, in 2017. So if the business statistically takes about 3 to 5 years to be successful, guess what? The first 2 years, I'm not making any money, right? I'm just trying to build my company. That store was built from scratch. I didn't have clients. The location where what my store was, it was previously a beauty salon. So and nobody knew what Postnet was. And probably today, a lot of people in Colorado don't know yet what Postnet is. So there was a brand situation as well. And it took a lot of work, a lot of hours of work to build the pipeline, to build my clientele. The first 2 years, again, I didn't make any money. And at the third year, then COVID hit. And what happens with that? Then the business actually takes a deeper deep, for a lack of a better word. And that is when the guts of you as a business owner, the thought process, your desire to be successful, your grit will come into play, because you don't want your business to go down, and you will do whatever it is, at that moment. I invested my entire retirement to build Postnet, and I wasn't ready to just give up. Okay. So the store was still open a few hours a day, because we offer mailboxes, virtual mailboxes, and clients will come to pick up their mail. And then eventually we went back up to the full hours of operation. Um, my sales went down because the majority of my clients are in the government sphere. So everybody was having plans on having events, but because of COVID, all the events were canceled. So all my printing and my signage orders were all canceled. And then the employee that I had, I couldn't afford him anymore. So I have to let him go. I hired my daughter, who at that time didn't want to be there. Um, and she then started, getting it and understanding how I work, and we have been working together there. I didn't stop looking for opportunities, right? Sometimes a situation where it's a hard situation for an economy, for a community, can provide other opportunities. And I didn't stop. I didn't stop calling people, calling my clients, checking how they were, checking on the situation. And also, I didn't stop working for my other job, because I have two businesses. One is Postnet as an owner for there, and then the other one is Collaborat. Under Collaborat, I am a consultant for the Minority Business Office. And all these clients, all these small businesses also needed help. on how to get ahead or how to navigate through this pandemic and what the SBA was doing, what the loans were being given to us. So I was, and I'm still working a lot of hours. So one thing that I want you to take away from my story is that as an entrepreneur, you have a huge responsibility to be a leader and to be positive and to never lose hope that something will get better, because people are around you and they look at you and they see what you do, they see how you react to situations, and then you become a role model to them, or you give ideas to these other business owners on how to do it, right? Another story that I can share with you is that, as you know, with Postnet, for instance, I have a, I have a storefront. I pay a lease. It's a monthly lease, and my lease is not inexpensive because it's in the south part of Denver. It's in Centennial, and it's across Park Meadows Mall, and it's a steep rent. And when COVID hit, I couldn't pay that lease. I reached out to the landlord and I said, "Hey, I can't pay you." And the landlord will offer things like, "We're going to do a deferment. Um, you can pay starting August." And my question was, how is it possible, right, that a landlord, knowing that there are no sales, they're still pushing you to pay rent anyway? That didn't make sense to me. So I tried to continue to talk to them and said, I just, that doesn't make sense. You're still asking me to pay for full rent in August. And how am I going to sustain that when my sales were so low? And of course, the landlord is a big corporation. They were like, well, sorry, that's the best we can do. And my friends, I have not pay my rent for 5 months since this situation started. And what I have been doing instead is continue to talk to them on trying to get into a negotiation where I need to pay a discounted rate for my rent. I surrounded myself with people and that is another story that I want to share with you, is surround yourself with people that are experts on their area. So I reached out to an attorney that is a real estate attorney. I talked to my accountant. I talked to people that I love and that I trust about my situation. I also talked to the people that were around me, the other small business owners that were with me on the situation. And everybody has a different opinion and a different approach on how they would face this, scenario on the rent. And at the end of the day, as a business owner, I took a look at my books and I took a look at how much I have. And one thing that I remember always is that cash is king. In business, cash is king. So I hold the monthly rent to build my business instead, right? And then I continue to navigate through the process of having zero sales, to calling people again, or calling my clients, calling everybody, is still drumming up business and getting some orders. And that's what happened. So one key element when you are a business owner and you have actually a storefront, you're not working from home, but you actually are responsible for a storefront, is to make sure that you have enough cash to sustain you through the months and that are coming ahead. And so that is what I did, right? I started, when all these things happened, it was April and it was May and June. July was, the best month I guess I had with sales that were coming in, and that was a lot of work on um, outreach. And now the landlord, of course, they are on their feet saying, you still need to pay me rent. And we were able to get to a point where I said, okay, these months that were the COVID months, I'm going to pay you next year. And they had to agree with that. So a reflection on that story for small business owners that are out there is that don't ever feel pressure sometimes by the power of the beings. If you know that there is something that is not right that is happening to your business and is affecting you as a business owner and is not in your control, you have to stand up and say something about it. And you have to reach out to people that actually care about the situation and that may have some sort of control or influence over it. So, because my story is in Centennial, I reached out to the city of Centennial and I reached out to the mayor and I asked the mayor to talk to her team, which is what she did. She responded, she was very responsive. She actually agreed with me as a small business owner. So it's about creating awareness on the situation that small business owners go through. Um, so take that, as something for you, that from me that I'm sharing with you. Again, if you see something that is not right, say something, and say something to the people that you think have the most impact on your situation. Luckily enough, I also, as a consultant, that I work with the state or the minority business office for the state of Colorado. I'm also very active after this experience, very active in talking about to the small business leaders in Colorado anyway about this situation. Because you're here, probably you are maybe a micro small business that is trying to survive, is trying to get ahead, and then you need to have all the support that you can, especially in a situation where it's not under your control. That is another, another takeaway that I can give you on that. Um, and so with this experience also, there is something that you will learn, or if you are a small business owner, that you, whether you're working from home or whether you're working from a van or a car or you are having a storefront, one of the things that I have learned is that you never stop prospecting, right? You never stop talking to people and never stop listening actively to situations where you think you can be of help with your services or your products. What does that have to do with leadership? In my opinion, leadership is about something grand, right? Something bigger than you, something that you want to, that you have a goal for and that you want to go for it and you want to achieve, and you are going to get there doing the right things and following, the not taking shortcuts. In the beginning of my business for Collaborat, and this is another story about shortcuts and how sometimes we can get caught up in things that is not a convenience to us. I started my business Collaborat in 2013, and I did it because I got a project on translation, and it was kind of a big project, and I thought, okay, they are gonna pay me money, so I need to report this money to the tax on my taxes, so I need to create a business so I can then put it on there. And even though I had all the education, that you get in school, I didn't have the practical knowledge and the tactical knowledge of real life. right? So I went to the online site, stateofcolorado.com, and I established my business with my name. Um, at that time was called TPB for my initials, professional, and I did it without checking whether this name was already taken, checking whether this name could be taken also for a website host, without checking whether, maybe people will recognize what is, that I was offering translation services. What is TPB stand for? It didn't have anything to do with translation. Um, but because I did it, because I just wanted to do it fast and I wanted to do it right away and I didn't have time to think about. And what happened with that is that later on, when my business started building and I started transforming what I was offering to my audience, I had to change the name because I wanted to establish a website, and there was somebody who was having, for whatever reason, that TPB professional. Um, so it was more work, right? So that shortcut didn't work for me. So don't take shortcuts. Just do your research and if you don't know where to get information and you're a business owner, Colorado has so many resources that I didn't know then. So I'm sharing this with you now, right? The SBDC, which is the Small Business Development Center, it's all over the state. So you can go online, you can reach out, you can request for a consultant that can talk to you and can walk you through how to start a business before you actually do all these things that I did that were not the right thing. And so now Collaborate was born, and the name was because I love to collaborate. And I thought, okay, that there's nothing better than using something that I stand for. And I have um, gone from just translation services to um, marketing consulting to business consulting, and now consulting for small businesses that are trying to do business with the government. Um, which brings me to the next point in this presentation, right? Um, your business will evolve, and sometimes you don't know until you start that journey, which is what happened to me. So I had to be open and I had to flex myself and accept that, okay, yes, I am doing this and now I have the expertise to offer this other service. And why not? And it, there is something also about um, taking the risk of doing it, right? And if you know that what you're offering has a value to your client and that you know that for sure you're going to help them out, go for it, even though that might have not been within your um, menu of services and products that you originally started with your business. My business with Collaborate started with actually no goals. I didn't know at that time what I was doing. And even though you will hear on and on that you have to have goals, it is true. So, can you correct the course? Absolutely. That is what I did. Um, can you do it the right way? Absolutely. Can you get informed and educate yourself on how to have a structure of a good business, solid, and build it and have a reputation that you're doing a good job? Those are things that leadership means. Is leadership means constantly educating yourself, make corrections to what you're doing on your journey, because we all make mistakes, right? We are not born business owners knowing exactly what to do. We are making mistakes as we go, as we move forward. And leadership is about educating ourselves, taking care of your business and by doing the right thing. in taking care of your client. And if your client gets a product or service from you that you know in your gut that is not completed correctly, leadership is about going back and making it right. Um, if you have any questions during this presentation, please just go ahead and ask them. I'll be happy to answer them with you. But just want to say that. And something else that I want to share with you about leadership and character is the importance of being positive at all times, right? And maintain calm. So when I started Postnet, I invested, like I said, like I shared with you, I invested my retirement into this, and I was nervous about it. The people that I surrounded myself at that time will that were the franchise team told me, almost promised me that I will make my money back within 1 year, and I believed it. And I believed it because I thought at that time, I'm gonna work so hard, I'm gonna give it all. And so the results are going to be there. And I did the second part, but the results were not there. And sometimes that is not in your control because there are elements like the area, right? Elements like geographical situations, like what that product or service is. Who is your target market, right? What is the price sensitivity on the people that you are trying to reach? And then you have your operating costs. So that the 1 year mark did not happen. I was so nervous about it because I wanted to continue the business and I continued to inject money into it. And by the second year, when, or the third, going into the third year, when I was really concerned about my finances, I still had it in me to be positive about it and think about what are the things that I still haven't done that I could to bring my revenues up. Um, for a small business owner or for a business owner, the sustainability of a business is so important, right? And that comes knowing that the business has enough cash flow to survive and to grow so you can do other things. Um, and so um, the nervousness and the panic that I had to change that mindset. It's a mindset and saying, okay, I am going to get a loan and I have to have a cold head about it. But I have to understand the terms of that loan and how that is going to affect my business. My accountant told me he looked at both he's doing taxes for both my business for Collaborate and Postnet. And this is the second year with this accountant. The second year he said to me, um, you made money with Collaborate. And I said, okay, that's great, but I don't see the money. And he goes, because you transferred some of that money to Postnet to sustain it. And for those situations, my friends, you have to be aware that that is what is happening and accept that that is what you're doing, and that but also know where the boundary is going to be and the limit is going to be for that, right? Running two businesses is not easy, especially with one is making money and the other one is still on that growing mode. And you just have to, what I'm doing is just like constantly looking at both, at both businesses books and I want Postnet to survive. And so I am giving it energy there, um, because I want this to have a level out with Collaborate. Um, as a business owner is what is comfortable to you um, to do. That will be in before you make a decision, like I mentioned before, is surrounding yourself that know what they're doing. So who is around you, right? I surrounded myself with people that know about numbers, with a good accountant, with an attorney, with other business owners. In my family also plays an important part of it, because you come home and you tell a story and then you hear that feedback. But at the end of the day, with all of that information, you are the one making that decision. And you have to be, what is the word that you have to take ownership on that decision. And if that decision was not the right one, well, then it is time to then, make a change of course, right? That it needs to be. There is no right answer. The one right answer is that as long as you know where you're at, and as long as you are doing things that are not including a shortcut, you are going to be you're going to be okay. As long as you get informed as much as you can about the situation that is surrounded, by all the elements that are affecting and impacting your business, that is what is important. If you have employees, it's so critical that you give them your support, and that you don't, and that we don't show them um, panic, right? We have to be calm at all time, and we have to nurture that employee into perhaps the leader that is going to be. He My daughter did not want to be there in the beginning, like I was telling you. And after 4 months of working there, she has taken all over the work that I used to do and more, right? And she has taken ownership of all the things that we are doing at Postnet, and she's coming up with ideas. And yesterday, she felt a sense of um, needing to stay longer hours, a couple of more hours, because she wanted to make sure that she was completing all the tasks for a client. And that comes out of your leadership, right? Because you are inspiring somebody because they see you, right? They see you working so hard at something that they get inspired by that. Another story I can tell you with about leadership and character is that um, we had a project, and it was a project about some ballots because elections are coming up, and it's a bunch of them. So she got a little scared because she's new, 4 months into it, and she said, "No, we cannot do this. This is too big." And I said, "Yes, we can. We can do it, and you'll do it, and I'll help you, and we're gonna do it." And envelopes and things like that, right? And I said, "We can. It is possible to do it." Okay. If I have to look for a machine, if I have to rent a machine temporarily to print these envelopes, because those are special envelopes, I will. It is possible. And so the next day, um, she came and she was very open to that idea. And she goes, "Okay, what is that we need to do?" So your your belief that something can happen, it's also a big, it's a big element on your business moving forward. Okay, so don't think sometimes about I'm limited by. Of course, there are going to be projects that you have that are just too big for you, and just simply is going to be operational impossible to fulfill. But if you have a project that you think you have a chance, look for your resources. So be resourceful, right? And see, okay, what else? How can you complete one task so that it will complement the other task? Anything that you believe in, it's that it can happen. Trust me, it can happen. And when you have that character and that confidence in yourself and that you do it, then people will follow. And also, not only people will follow, then you will also have supporters. And in addition to that, you will build your reputation, and people will go to you as the go person, and they will trust you because they will believe that you can make things happen. And in my world, I can give you just different stories about that, right? Different stories where I had one restaurant in Louisville, Colorado, that was they wanted to do new menus, and the owner of that restaurant had a vision on how that menu wanted to look like for him. And even though it was right in the beginning of when I just opened my franchise, and I really didn't know too much about the machines, about all the things, the binding and the paper and lamination and all those things. We worked very hard at it to make sure that it was to my customers' expectations. He wanted nice pictures of the food on the menu. I hired a professional photographer, and that menu is beautiful. Okay, um, we created a new logo for him, and he was ecstatic with it. And then um, he started having more business himself, because he had a new presentation on it. But I think the story that I want to leave you with there is that anything is possible if you have a vision and you have a goal. Sometimes small business owners, we have so many hats, and if we are new business owners, we just don't know where we're going if we just don't understand. That's what happened to me when I started Collaborate way back when. um, that I didn't know really what was the vision of that. It was just open because there was a translation project that I needed to get done. That was all. But I didn't have any vision. And then, even though the company was, I established the company in 2013, well, the company really didn't make any money until 2 years before. So it took me years to understand where I wanted to go with it. And now I know. So, and I have a goal and I have a vision. I want Collaborat to be a robust consulting services for marketing and business for small business owners, and that if and I want to support my community, my Latino community, and I want to provide those services in both languages if it's necessary for them, right? There is a special satisfaction as a business owner when you do something that is so right. It just feels so right to you, and that you do it sometimes without really thinking about how much money are you going to make out of the project. And that is also something that can give you a a big a big motive, a big goal on why do you want to do these things. Businesses are made to make money. All right, businesses are made to make money. We don't start a business for charity. We don't start a business because we want to give something out for free. No. However, also the importance of um, a successful business owner, and that should be your goal, to be successful and to make money, is then to also serve the communities and the people that are around you that are most needed. And how are you going to do that if your business is not sustainable? So that will be another takeaway: is make money, but for a reason, for a purpose of helping others. And I am in a situation now of almost 4 years with Postnet, where um, I am serving, I have the ability to serve my clients, that some of them are Spanish speaking mostly, and they are trying to do businesses on their own. They are trying to sell products, they are trying to sell, and they need marketing materials, they need marketing ideas. And um, I am giving that service now to, especially to maybe one or two of them. Again, it cannot be to everybody because your business needs to make money, right? That is the most important piece. But that satisfaction of helping another business owner to be successful while they are in their journey is immense. I can tell you that the satisfaction that I feel with that is it's amazing. It's great. Um, being knowing that you help your community to be successful as well. The other piece that I can tell you, that I can leave you, is when you have leadership capabilities and character, it will have a positive impact on your business, to the point where it can take it to next levels. And what do I mean by that? I mean by that being certain, being assertive, knowing where you're at, eventually will take you to grow your business and take your business to the next level. And by doing that, you are expanding also the capacity of helping others or creating more jobs and being a mentor for others as well. Um, so that is um, that is something that I have in my mind, and that when I teach or when I have taught business and marketing, or when I talk to my clients, is about, where do you see your company? Where do you see your company going in the next 5 years? And you know, another story that I can tell you about with that is, um, I have a client that is a successful client. Um, COVID has not affected every single industry, right? If you are in the construction sphere, or if you are working in the air conditioning industry, COVID has not affected you. Probably it has elevated your business. I know a peer that owns an air conditioning company, and he was just telling me today that he has expanded and now he's buying more vans, because right now what is happening? There is a lot of heat in Colorado, right? And everybody's working from home, right? And they need to have the air conditioning cranking up more hours. That way they were not home. So the air conditionings need maintenance, or they need replacements. And so my friend is banking on it, and good for him. He's understanding his environment. So the the takeaway about leadership is also to have that vision to where you're going, right? Where you're going, and understanding your environment and your surroundings. Um, and anyway, but the story was not about this peer of mine that has an air conditioning. It was about this other client that I have, that is doing really well. She's in construction. It's a woman owned, which is amazing, especially in that industry. And but the question is, um, she has employees, and she wants those employees to have um, benefits and all those things that employees have, right? 401ks, training, human resources, health insurance, and that is leadership. She started small, and she started with maybe her husband and one employee, and now they have 15 employees. And they are operating and they are growing, but they are operating in a way where the business needs structure, right? So what happens when you grow and you don't know, okay, how do I grow even bigger, right? How do I do that? How do I make sure that I provide the benefits to my employees? And how do I make sure that they get what they are worth, right? As far as payroll goes and things like that. So leadership is about taking that initiative to make your company better, your human resources better, your employees being taken care of. And um, she was then looking for resources. Okay, how do I do this? Right. So, and that's how we started working together on that. But I will just give her pieces, and but she is the one actually who needs to execute, and she would probably implement things for her company. And one of the things that I loved about this client, besides the fact that it's a woman and it's Latino, is that she has a vision of the company to grow even more. She wants the company to get to a point where there are perhaps, I don't know, 500 employees and be very well known in the community. And she wants to help, um, you know, the the company. She wants to help the employees. She wants to make an impact in society. Um, it is in our shoulders right now as small business owners that some of us belong to communities like the Latino community, the African American community, minorities. We have in our shoulders the additional responsibility to have a big impact, a bigger impact in society, because we become role models to the young generation from our communities that are looking at us and that are saying, I can surpass that. I can get there and surpass that. And it is just so important. Um, in this country, as it is important for our society, it's important politically, it has a lot of importance in that. So leadership, my friends, has different meanings for every person. Okay, everybody will have their own take on leadership. Um, what will be yours? What will be, what that you want to take on? What is the word that identifies you with leadership? One of the words that identifies me is perseverance. Perseverance, and do not give up and do not quit, even though there are a thousand reasons why you should. And if you believe in something, it's about continuing that path with a positive attitude that you believe that it's gonna work out, and until maybe it doesn't, right? But you are, like I said to my dad one time, I'm going to fight until I cannot fight anymore. That's it, right? You do that because, well, for me, is about a vision that I have, and I am going after it, and I am educating myself about it, and I am not quitting, and I am informing myself, and I'm surrounding myself with people that know and that can provide good feedback about my business. And um, I'm looking at my books, and I am looking at my clients, and I'm making sure that everybody that is around me um, I value everybody's opinion, but I also execute, and not standing on the fence. That would be another thing, right? About leadership. It's about not judging, but it's about making a commitment and following through. So perseverance, take that away, and then do not take any shortcuts. Shortcuts in the long run will make you work harder. I have stories with clients that have started their businesses, corporations, C corps, and S corps, and they don't have operating agreements. They don't have board of director minutes. They don't have the documents that are surrounding those. And when it's time to get serious and institutions will ask for those documents, they don't have it. So make sure that if you're a small business owner, you educate yourself. Like Joe mentioned before, I have an email, or you can contact me if you have any questions about anything that is related to business. If I don't have the answer, I will make sure to get you to the right person that can help you with that. That that's all I have to share with you today, guys. I hope that some of these stories has, um, created some curiosity. But these stories are all real. They all happen, and not every business is the same when they start. There are some businesses that start with right foot, if you will. They are lucky that within the year, immediately they are making money, or there are businesses that start like in this environment right now that is happening in Colorado, a lot of construction. So if you are in the construction sphere and if you are not getting any business, you are not doing something, okay? Because there is plenty of opportunities out there for you if you are in construction. And the same thing if you are in air conditioning or in electrical, those things are out there. Um, you know, it, not everything has to stop, right? Not everything has. I talk to people, I talk to real estate agents, and there are, houses being sold, and people are moving to Colorado from other states because of the situation, right? And that is happening nationally. So I just read the other day that there are more people moving from California, from Texas, right, from Arizona, that are moving to Denver and or Colorado, right? They're moving to the mountains. And what does that mean? So when you are thinking about your business, think about, okay, what does that mean to my environment, right? If I want to start a cleaning business, where am I going to go, right? I know it's very competitive, but geez, there is so many people moving. Opportunities are out there for you, for sure, right? You can go to the mountains. There are more people moving that are going to need it. Um, cleaning. Cleaning is another area where COVID has not affected that. On the contrary, right? Everybody wants to have a house that is disinfected. And if you market it well, then there you go, right? So think about those things, when you are planning to start a business, if you are, and think about also how, in that sense, that you are opening your business with your product or your service, the impact that you're going to make on the society or the people around you, right? How that business is going to help. And for me, is because I support the small business owners, I take the baton. I am the one who, that restaurant who's ready to reopen again, with this COVID situation. I'm the one who is providing the masks, and I'm the one who's providing the disposable menus so they can serve. I'm the one who is that operational tactic resource for that restaurant to continue to do business, right? I'm the one making the signage that you must have a mask before you enter into the place. So think about, that is the impact. That is the impact that I have into society. So what is the impact that your business has? And have that critical thinking, because why is important? It's important because it's going to help you. It's going to help you to have a vision, and it's going to help you to grow your business, and it's going to help you to perhaps even reinvent or make your service better, um, and maybe include an additional a complement service with it. Um, it's just another example that I can give you with it is the fact that, uh, okay, hold on, I have one little question here is, what advice would you provide to a small business owner during this crisis to emerge successfully on the other end? I am going through that. Okay, so yes, regrets to emerge. Okay, this is the advice that I can give you. Um, Make sure you have enough cash, okay, and make sure that if you have not used the loans, the federal loans, look for them, the SBA loan, the PPP loan, the EIDL loan. If you are a small business that perhaps needs a different type of financial resource, there are some out there. Okay, so you can ask me or contact me, but remember this, cash is king on a business, especially in these times. You must have enough in your bank to sustain you, because you're going to need that to pay your employees, you're going to need that to pay yourself, you're going to need that to sustain your truck or whatever that business that you're doing. You must have enough cash. And having extra, hey, even better, because you can always return that money back if that is a loan, but you must protect yourself with that cushion of cash. And that is my best advice to you. That is what I'm going through. I feel comfortable enough that, okay, this month of August has not been the greatest compared to July, but I am comfortable enough because I have something to pay my rent, right? That I have now to go back and pay my rent, but I have not paid the other months. So I know that there are some financial responsibilities there, but um, yeah, it's like the other thing that I can tell you about small businesses during this pandemic is um, don't give up and be positive, okay? And um, just go with mindset. Your mindset, it will dictate sometimes how that day is going to go for you. So when you wake up, you are just going to think about that it's going to be a good day for you. And you're going to have a small goal that day. And that morning, you're going to say, okay, today I'm calling two people. If that is how you make business, I'm going to check up on two people. Or today I'm going to send two emails. Today is what tactically thing that is going to support your business you're going to do. Don't overwhelm yourself, but just choose two, and you will be okay. Just make sure you commit to it. If a small business owner is wanting to scale their business and wanting a business partner, how would you proceed? Yes. So how do we find business partners, right? Do you already know somebody that wants to be in business with you? Or is it that somebody is, or is that you just need it, but you just don't know who? And in that case, I'm going to tell you, two things, right? One story is my brother wants to start his own business, and he has asked me a lot of times to be his business partner. But he wants to start a restaurant, and that is not what I want. That is not my passion. And so when you choose a partner, make sure that partner is on the same page and has the same ideas or likes on business as you. So don't choose it because maybe it's a family member. Don't choose it because maybe that family member needs you, or you need that person. Perhaps it's maybe all the way around. But if you both are not on the same page as far as liking that business industry that you're in, don't do it. Okay, no, nothing is going to work out of pressure. Nothing is going to work out of um, you know out of the elements on what is happening to you at that moment. Somebody needs to be with somebody because they want to both grow the business. If you don't know anybody, right, you perhaps are ready to grow, you want a business partner, but you don't know, that might be a good time, not maybe now, but when things start opening up, to do some serious networking, right? Because when you network, you are expanding your circle of people that maybe are in your same industry. Okay, meet your competitors. That is another way to find a partner. I don't know what business you're in, but I'm gonna give you an example, right? Um, so there is a big printing company that the owner knew the other big printing company. I'm in the printing industry, and that is why I'm giving you this example, right? The smaller printing company was not doing, very good. So he decided to sell, and he actually became partner with the other. So they were both knowledgeable on what they were doing, and and that became a good deal for both of them. So, but how do you know them? It's by you reaching out. Okay, so if you don't know anybody, look, okay, who is around me that does the same thing that I do, and let me introduce myself. Okay, sometimes we don't want to meet people that are in our same industry because they are our competitors, and I will tell you that that mindset needs to change. Actually, you need to be friends with people that are doing the same thing that you do, because you can actually form partnerships. So that will be, one if you don't know them, and one if don't don't push anybody to be a partner that they don't want to be just because maybe that person is. And with that, I think that I am over my hour. Any other questions? Well, if there are not more questions, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much for listening to me, and uh, I hope that I provided some value to you. It was, very nice to share my stories. I have tons more of those, uh, throughout the years. If you wanna know about it, just give me a call, and I can tell you anything and anything. And I also talk to so many small business owners about their businesses and their journeys, and all of them have always a valuable experience to me, that I can reflect on and execute based on that. Okay, well, thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day.